Do you guys enjoy watching Eldari get shot up by Space Marines as much as I do? I hope so, because you're going to get a bit of it. HafHaf is the Tech Marine today. We've got an indecisive Farseer being played by Mokey. Mokey sends the Guardians out. Nice. Some double Guardian builds. Love it. Love this shit. I just find it a lot more interesting. I actually really like this colour scheme as well. House Slaneshi. Very pretty. Love the lilac helmets. Wow, the flare on these guys. I hope the Eldar. Walking into a Tech Marine that should be an instant X. A little bit late there, but they did manage to get out without losing a model, so good for them. It's not what you want to see, of course. You want to be meeting scouts with your Guardians. You want to meet the Tech Marine with your Farseer, and you want to meet the Tax with your Banshees, ideally. That's how you want to open up as the Eldar. So there you go. Guardians meet the Scouts. Pew pew. Goodbye. Goodbye to the Scouts. And now we've got the Banshees meeting the Tax. So far, so good. No shotguns on the way yet, so Scouts will do a little bit of pew pew. With the other Scouts coming out, they should actually be fine. But, yeah, the Banshee's got the melee charge there, and the Scouts should have disengaged, I think. Yeah. Lost too much chip with the first one, then the second one being there. They could have hang tight around this area here, break in line of sight, and then it would have zoned out the Space Marines from being able to come up this direction, at least until they got shotguns. And of course they don't want to get shotguns early, because then it delays their tier 1.5, which is usually ASM. Don't know what these Guardians are doing. That was a bit stupid. Great. Scouts just forced off Guardians, so a bit of a misplay there. Obviously Guardians not properly in cover. These guys retreated too early as well. Could have stalled out a bit more time. I don't know if there was some other logic to that, like you want to blob up both of your Guardians together, you want them to leave the base at the same time. But then again, these guys need to heal for a bit, so I don't know about that Mokey. Mokey's got his Shuriken coming out. Gone for a bit of a weird build. It feels like... Has he bled? I don't know. The one gen feels like it's not a lot. But I suppose it was. It did lead to optimal timing. Then you get the next gen. Yeah, I guess, because if you go 1-1, then you drop... No, you drop all your gens at the start, don't you? I don't know. Strange. I've completely forgotten the timings, because they're just a matter of muscle memory. Once again, Guardians meeting the Tech Marine. This is the problem with the Tech Marine early on. Bit of a nightmare. Because your Guardians just get completely shut down and have to retreat so fast.
Adding warp generator.
Now Banshee's not quite as squishy. Wow. Boss off the techie nice and fast. I'd have probably just pulled the Tech Marine down here and gone to the garrison. The damage on the move of the Farseer is not very good. Well, maybe they wanted the Tech Marine elsewhere. Now they could maybe blob up all the units, grab a shotgun and do a big timing push onto the gen farm. Possible with maybe the non-shotgun scout running off and capping up this side of the map. Let's see. See what the play is going to be. Setting up right in the opening with the Shuriken's a bit silly. But overarching fire from... Oh yeah, they didn't have the energy to jump back out, did the ASM? I'm wondering why they retreated like basically instantly. They had no shotgun support either. And where did the Tech Marine go? The Tech Marine was chilling in base for a long time there. There's no way he needed to be in base for that long. I didn't check the HP, but there's no way. He retreated with nearly full health. So a bit of misplace from both sides here. Mastercrafted Bolter coming up on the Tech Marine. A decent VP lead for HafHaf. Again, an instant retreat from the Guardians. Not a bad idea there because of the high-powered shot potentially bleeding a model. Yeah, wary with the retreat path now as well. Got to be careful with the scouts obviously lurking. Could grab a grenade, but you could also get mines popping up if the Tech Marine had the Artificer armor. Obviously he doesn't, but he could have been buying it right then. Mokey didn't know that. And a mine in retreat path would have been very deadly. There you go, that's why he retreated instantly last time. Oh, nightmare. Spirit Stones. So this will be dramatically better in Tier 2 when the Guardians don't lose models so easily. They get such a massive increase in resilience when they get to Tier 2 and get that Warlock. But I maybe would have waited on the Spirit Stones till I got to Tier 2, because I really don't feel like they're going to do too much right now on their own. Obviously in an army versus army fight, if you can save the Spirit Stones to heal the Banshees, that's nice. But look at this, man, just bang! Instant model dead. So the Spirit Stones gets mitigated there, because the heal is nowhere near as effective. You can't heal dead Eldar. Yeah. It's pretty annoying to deal with, there's no doubt about it. And the Tech Marine just gets into melee there. I mean, Mokey really struggling here with his macro positioning. His unit's just getting caught out in the wrong position repeatedly. But at least Guardian's there forcing off the scouts. Hey, they even grabbed a model, can you believe it? And if we look at the economies, to be honest, these guys are pretty even.
Strategic locations.
But then I think forward to Tier 2, and I'm not really convinced that Eldar do have it much better there. ASM exploiting the nice terrain on this map to get over. A jump, get rid of the Guardians. They can now run and take the building. Oh, they can fly away, yeah. I guess that's an alternative. Whilst they wait for the scouts to come down and pew-pew the Banshees. It's been an interesting one, this game, because there's not really been many army versus army fights, has there? I feel like there hasn't even been any, really. It's just been constant skirmishing with isolated units, an attempted guide there on the Shuriken, but obviously long-range Shuriken doesn't do a lot of damage. Needs to be close. Yeah, and Banshee's denied the ability to cap by scouts. But now Banshee's in a bit of a weird position. But they do proc the melee charge, which is going to make the scouts retreat. So the question is, what the choice is going to be in Tier 2. The obvious choice for Space Marines is always to go Razorback Sternguard. But Assault Cannon Dreadnought can be pretty good too. Look at that. Nice Spirit Stone Seal. Just a shame about the dead Banshee. But once again, in Tier 2, when you get the Exarch and you get the massive range damage resistance from having the Exarch and using Fleet of Foot together, yeah, that will make these Banshees a lot more resilient to those players. And then, indirectly, that buffs the Spirit Stones. So there you go.
New units are now available to us.
So they resist us.
Sure how well they'll do here. The fact that all three ASM were going after one model probably does bode quite well, and there are flanking bolter shots from these scouts. So how would you deal with the Razorback and a Sternguard squad? Well, the Warp Spiders will definitely help you against the Razorback, but the problem with the Warp Spiders, and part of the reason why you go for the Sternguard, is Tax and Sternguard themselves are very resilient to the piercing DPS of the Warp Spiders. And so they'll be able to stand and trade quite effectively, especially because Warp Spiders rely on cover. The Sternguard are very good with Dragonfire rounds. But the Warp Spiders, they punish the Tech Marine, they punish the Scouts, and crucially they give you a snare for the Razorback, which really, having a snare for the vehicle is what makes you able to kill it in high-level gameplay.
We must arm for even crueler warfare.
Well, it's going to be a Dreadnought anyway. I guess HafHaf feels pretty secure right now. Still ahead in VPs. Really controlling the fights, I'd say. Definitely bleeding the Eldar more than they themselves are bleeding. And they've got the resources for it, so yeah, why not go for the Dreadnought? So, Spiders show themselves. Got the Exarch, but no aspects yet. Wow, they're just going to retreat out. Cool. Teleport, I guess, must have still been on cooldown. Here comes the Banshee Exarch. That's obviously going to be a bad fight for the ASM. Their Sarge is on the way, though. Too late, though. They've got to get out. Yeah. Okay, good. Good for them. They get out without any losses, but the Eldar can finally cap up the map. No gem bash in this game either. I must admit, I've really found it high level as well. It's just, to get a gem bash is really hard. Especially from a full timing push as opposed to a little sneaky gem bash. So let's see what the Dreadnought's going to do. For now, it's retaining its melee mode. I guess they're probably concerned about potential Wraithlord coming out if you go Assault Cannon too soon. But I wouldn't really care as a tech marine because you just pick up the melter gun, don't you?
Space Marines are heading over to your
Guided spiders though, tremendous amount of damage to anything that isn't heavy infantry. Even them, they will get melted as well, really. Where did the spiders go? Why did they go backwards? They should have gone over this way to help the Banshees fight the ASM. But yeah, ASM getting the knockback from the jump and then comboing with Merciless Strike, hitting all the models. ASM beat Banshees in tier 2, which is crazy. As long as they've used both of their abilities, they will win that fight quite handily, and that's where the Spirit Stones can come in. It obviously mitigates all that AoE damage that comes in from the Merciless Strike. Check that out, man. Guided spiders. Even the heavy infantry, ASM, getting minced right now. How they didn't lose a model, I'm not sure. But yeah, HafHaf not really enjoying that. Gonna go for an Assault Cannon Dreadnought so he can pop those spiders from afar. Obviously we've got Brightlands now in play. Assault Cannon splitting its damage between both of those models, which is a bit awkward there. That would have been a beautiful barrage opportunity, but he missed it. A little bit confused as to why HafHaf is keeping this thing in play. That also would be a beautiful barrage opportunity, but he doesn't want to stand in front of the Brightlands. Guided. Dude, check out that range, man. Oh my god. Must have used Farsight to get line of sight, because obviously no other units were around there. Rushing in with the Banshees to try and get the kill. Of course, if you do get the Assault Cannon, you lose your melee resist and your Dreadnought, so this Exarch with her Executioner Spear can do things. But yeah, Massive Crafted Bolter kind of shutting that down. You notice you've got the Heavy Bolter Devastator here, probably anticipating that there would be a Wraithlord from Mokey, which would be the meta, really. But Mokey's actually just gone tier 3, which is really cool. I like to see that. And it's kind of bamboozled HafHaf, because the build is a little bit off right now. Really doesn't need these Devastators. But hey, they can counter-initiate Banshees that try to deal with the Dreadnought, I guess. But generally not very effective against Eldar. These guys obviously teleporting around. Very good against devs. Guardians having plasma grenades. Pretty good against devs. It's, yeah, awkward. Here we go. It's an army versus army fight. Not really. Mokey's forces are a bit split up all over the place. Yeah, I suppose they've done a good job, really, avoiding the army versus army fights that they clearly didn't want. Spirit Stones heal? Nope. Because he used Guide instead. I hate how it requires so much energy to use Spirit Stones, but then... Oh, it looks like they buffed it. Oh, no. Which restores 50 energy, but it's like 80 energy to use it. So if you use Guide, you then can't use Spirit Stones. It's very annoying. So you basically have to wait at the start of your engagement, not using abilities on your fast here, which is a big debuff. I mean, like, is Spirit Stones that good then it needs it? Maybe. I don't know. But it's very frustrating to use. But a nice pickup there for HafHaf, the AC Dread. Doing pretty damn good, really. There you go, pops another Guardian, forces them off. This pressure that it puts on from afar is beautiful, and we haven't even seen any good Assault Cannon barrages either, but trust me, when you combine that with knockback from shotguns, which we don't see any of, by the way, which is quite weird. All the knockback from the ASM, all the suppression from the Massive Crafted Bolter, you can really line up some beautiful Assault Cannon barrages. But yeah, evidently the play is going to be Seer Council. You have to assume they're going to get those heavy melee singing spears, and then that synergizes with the Spirit Stones, and then you can get Time Field, and the Eldar then can just sort of dominate in melee, I suppose. Though the Farseer is kind of struggling with energy right now. I think she needs to get the Rune Armor for that improved energy eco. Mokey has not had this power node pretty much all game. Power melee. Teleport into melee with the water spiders, okay. And there goes the Haywire. Now we're getting the empowered singing spears. Where's the Banshees? What? They're at base? Mokey's engaging here has been questionable. Yeah. Cancelled his AC barrage because he noticed these guys are in melee, obviously predicting that the Yeah, they've got heavy melee now. You should not be meleeing. He hasn't realised. Okay, no, I stand corrected. He's Space Marines and he's got lots of knockback. No red for a Blessings of the Omnissiah, mind you, but the Devastators are resetting up again. And guess what? Sea Council are not immune to knockback, but actually the bloody repairing scout has path blocked. Oh my god, they path blocked the fucking Dreadnought so it couldn't walk away. Repairing units don't move for some reason. It's really weird. Wait, what? How are they firing so fast even though they're suppressed? What the fuck? Not affected by suppression. Wow, Devastators. So trash, man. So bad against Eldar, it's unbelievable. Obviously, like I say, he wasn't anticipating needing heavy bolter Devastators. He would have wanted to see a Wraithlord. He was getting ready in case a Wraithlord came, but yeah, it didn't come. Bad. Armour of the Assyrian. Well, by the way, Spirit Stone's heal there. Pretty phenomenal on Sea Council. We do see Vanguard Veterans and a Predator though, so this will be interesting. It's a very good composition for a Predator to fight. A whole load of relatively squishy Eldar infantry, and not a lot of good AV from the Eldar. Just one Bright Lance, which should be pretty easy to avoid. Look at the Vanguard absolutely wiping the fucking floor with those Banshees. Holy shit. They just slaughtered them. Wow. Yeah, Vanguard are amazing. Vanguard are so good. And then when you start getting levels on these guys, they just go bonkers. Single Guardian still running around trying to cap. Can you catch it with a high-powered shot? Can't even say it. Oh, he misstargeted! Just got out of line of sight before he could use it, evidently. Oh my gosh. Bang, bang. Wow, they really went for the kill. That's a bit optimistic. Man, if they... Whoa, the double jump! Holy shit! They're gonna get it? Oh my god. Vanguard Veterans. Holy shit. Wow. Rear armor hits out of the Farseer gate. Infiltrated Seer Council. Holy crap, look at the damage on these things. Why did he... Oh my god, they killed the fucking Predator. These guys are so insanely good. I don't know why they have heavy melee spears. I mean, that's crazy. Coming out of the webway gate with the infiltration onto rear armor. The Predator would just sat there. And hey, HafHaf reacted fairly quickly. He fucking did, man. His big mistake there was desetting up the Devastator. But I guess he forgot how fast Seer Council can move. Remember, guys, this is a Seer Council with a Farseer. So obviously they got extra speed boost there from the gate and the infiltration, but my point is if it was a Warlock, they'd be able to use swift movement and then move faster like Fleet of Foot, but without having the 40% damage debuff. It's pretty scary. And now in the most recent patch, there's actually been a change where the Autarch and the Seer Council's damage resistance auras, because both of them emit an aura that protects nearby Eldari from range attacks and themselves. Yeah, well, they weren't stacking before, and now they will, which I think is gonna really, really indirectly buff these guys quite a bit. Man, they're nearly level 3 already. What on earth? Singing Spear, Armor of Assyrian. Makes sense to get the Singing Spear at this point, of course. Really struggling with energy economy, just with the Spirit Stones, never mind with Time Field as well, but Time Field's too good to pass. Just for a bit of energy economy. So yeah, you're on the other option that doesn't give you another ability, is the Singing Spear. Yeah, and once again, Vanguard just going to spank the shit out of these Banshees. These Banshees have not done anything, man. Look at them, level 1. They have struggled. I'm so surprised to not see any upgrades on the scouts until now. Gets the Sarge in the late game. Yeah, spooked by the infiltration from the webway. Wants to detect the webways. But that's it. I find that very rare. No Stern Guard either, no Terminators. You won't go Terminators against these things. Terrifying. That's of course why we see the Vendread. It's the only thing that doesn't get torn apart in melee by the Seer Council. What's for Artificer armor this late in the game, huh? There's no infiltration for... sorry, not infiltration. There's no detection for the Eldar. So the mines could still be useful. They won't do a lot of damage to the Seers, but it's the knockback and suppression that's quite nice. There goes Time Field. Shuts all them up. But hey, Seer Council respecting the Vanguard. They will beat the Vanguard, I am quite sure. But I guess with their heavy melee spears, it probably won't be that favourable. You know, if the Vanguard do land a jump and plant a merciless strike, I bet they can put up a good fight. And then with the Venerable Dreadnought moving in, things will go quite well, I'm sure. There is the Haywire though, and remember Haywire stops ability usage and stops attacks, so it does leave a little bit of a window, but not a long one. I think it's only 4 seconds or something, and there you go, it's worn off already. Bang! Emperor's Fist. But there is the Bright Lance in the back, which the Vanguard are going to jump on and force off straight away, so that's a replacement Bright Lance. And look at these special attacks, man. Absolutely beautiful. The Howling Banshees get fucking wrecked. Just don't do anything. I really would have thought that the Mark Target would have been a better choice than the Tech Marine. Put the Mark Target on the Seer Council, because these guys are obviously a huge problem. They're way too tanky. Rather than relying on some extra knockback from the mines, just Mark Target them. Wow, Mokey really committing to the melee Eldar build here, going for an Avatar next. What? Dev's just going to guard the contested VP. HafHaf is behind now on the VPs. What the fuck? Okay, he's going to open up his whole army here, but Banshees get wrecked again by Merciless Strike. But okay, HafHaf not going to take the fight. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have shotguns, does he? So it's basically only Vanguard here. Scouts and Tacks aren't doing shit. And then this would be too much damage. But Banshees just keep getting wrecked, man. Every engagement, I swear. Well, we could do with another Spirit Stone's heal on these Seer Council. Look at them, 5 models and only like 60% HP. Crazy. Oh my god. Even killing the spider in retreat there. Not sure what the plan was with the Walt Spider there. Just retreats them, okay. Fine. Another Pred. Yeah, I mean, in theory, the Pred should have been great, but fucking Seer Council, man, coming out of the Farseer gate, just crazy. So strong. The Pred was literally in the worst spot it could possibly have been, mind you.
The enemy has targeted us.
So I wonder what the plan is here with the Avatar.
We have 200 points.
You've got some synergies. You've got the Time Field, of course, which can set up some Wailing Dooms, but the melee prowess of this thing is not huge. You did get a buff fairly recently in the Elite Mod, but still, it really doesn't want to be going toe-to-toe with a Venerable Dreadnought. I think it'd win, but the fact that you can't heal this thing can constantly get heals. It's not good.
We support the craft work.
The big problem for Mokey is trying to keep this Bright Lance in place. Easier said than done with the Vanguard running around, but there you go. And this is where Mark Target again would be very useful from the Tech Marine. Or Bionics! Yeet these Seer Council flying. That's one of the disadvantages of Seers compared to Terminators. As fast as they are and as high damage as they are. That's a nice Wailing Doom. Bang! That did like no damage, what the fuck. Bit of a shitty Time Field, but yeah, the Banshees and Seers ganging up there on the Vanguard. Avatar just getting into retreat. Venerable Dreadnought needs to get out of there fast. Nice enfilade by the Bright Lance there. Obviously the... Oh, now guided. Oh, this is a bad position for the Venerable Dreadnought. Did it just try to charge out and got stuck? Probably. Wow, look at that guided range, man. That is nuts. Plasma gun on the Tech Marine trying to focus down the Avatar. Seer Council, man. Fucking hell, these guys are insane. The mobility on them is just so good. But yeah, as I was trying to say earlier, they might be mobile, but they can't avoid knockback sources. So that's the big weakness. Shotgun blasts, ASM jumps. Oh, that was a bad Wrath of Cain. You're just taking damage from the Predator and stuff. Yeah. No more jumps on the Vanguard. Brightland's setting up to zone out the Pred. But there you go, another overcharged plasma on the Tech Marine is a bit scary. Really could have done with hairwiring the Pred there. But Banshees slicing and dicing these guys in retreat because they're not fighting the Banshees. They were too busy trying to force off the Bright Lance, which is going to go down to the Pred. What's it doing, man? Loses the Bright Lance. Bit strange. He's getting greedy to try and kill the Venerable Dreadnought, but it's not going to happen. Wow. A focus fire with the guided spiders. Yeah, a little late on your Wailing Doom. Okay. VP's still in favour of Mokey, and a very high amount of resources for Mokey. I'm not sure why they're not getting a 5 prism at this point. That constant long-range chip would be very effective against these vehicles.
The enemy has 100 points remaining.
These guys on the wrong side of cover. Whoops. See, this is the problem with the Avatar. He's took all this damage. Obviously, his 1 HP per second healing is going to take forever. Yikes. Only 1 tack died. Level 3 tacks, man. Looks like the devs are going to go down, but it's not really a big deal. Wow! Saved at the last second by the Emperor's Fist. Why is there no support for these Seers? Bit of a strange play. Going for the Predator once again, but Merciless Strike. Oh! He just jumps out. Okay. Doesn't matter. Seer's just retreated. I think HafHaf might have this. Obviously, the VPs are ticking down super fast right now, but composition-wise looks pretty good for HafHaf. Here comes an Autark bomb. Delaying the decap. He's not got... Oh, he's only got the... Why does he not have shotguns, man, at this point in the game? Don't understand. Yeah, I think actually he's going to lose. He's not going to be able to take over the far point. Desperately going for a decap, but Banshee's doing their thing. Wow, they fail. He gets the decap. So he needs to get the cap here, but Autark is chopping him up. No red for a Blessing of the Omnissiah. I guess he's been using a hell of a lot of them. Sternguard. Oh, right. He just called it Sternguard. Oh. Avatar's going down to the Pred, counting it. Oh, nice Wailing Doom. 6 VPs for HafHaf. But the Seers are back out of the gate, man. The gates... Oh, the Farseer's going to kill the Pred. What the fuck? Oh, no. And the Autark is decapping. What is going on? But the Vendread charges through. But this is still here. Where are the spiders? The spiders return. They're going for the VP. The Sternguard are going to get on the VP over here. Vendread has been the absolute MVP. What a lad. What a lad. Wow, the Farseer is right back out. And the Spirit Stone's heal is miles off. Too far off. Autark heal. Oh, but they got the decap. And... Oh, right. Yeah, no, he lost this contested. Yeah, of course. Because the Scouts didn't have shotguns. So they eventually died to Banshees. Yeah, I don't know why the Scouts didn't have shotguns. That was a bit of a strange one. And look at that. Yeah, the Vendread wins in the end against the Seer Council. But probably would die to the Farseer. Pretty cool. A very off-meta kind of playstyle here from Mokey. Even the Autark at the end there. I'm really keen to see next patch how these two perform together. The Eldar tier 3 has gone from being the worst to being really quite decent. You know, the Avatar got the buff to his damage recently. I think he got an increase to his melee charge, either range or speed as well. Fire Prisms are marginally cheaper, D-Cannons more effective. Basically everything got buffed, and now you've got Dark Reapers in tier 3 as well, as an anti-Terminator kind of elite ranged hybrid infantry. I don't really know what the role is meant to be. It's a bit weird because it's a capped unit, which means it then has to be kind of good at everything to warrant it being capped, which I don't like. But yeah, They're a thing now. They're a thing in tier 3, and all together I think the Eldar are going to do very well. But I expect, and here's my prediction, that we're going to see a lot of Seer Council with Autark. I think these two are going to really enjoy the current meta. But I hope you enjoyed that one, folks. That's going to be all from your boy Torpid. This time I am signing out.